The 14 names on this list tell us a lot, but the one name missing from this piece of paper is absolutely terrifying for every single fan of this franchise. We are staring down the barrel of a massive roster overhaul, and the heartbeat of our offense might be packing his bags for Tennessee. Welcome back to the faithful. Before we dive into this roster breakdown and the massive coaching news, do me a huge favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update as we rebuild this beast. The roster construction for the 2026 season has officially kicked off, and folks, it is going to be a wild ride. We just got the breaking news that the team has inked 14 players to reserve/future contracts. This marks the literal beginning of the big build we are going to be obsessing over for the next few months. But before we celebrate the depth guys returning, we have to address the elephant in the room. Or rather, the tiger in the room. Jauan Jennings was not on that list of 14. And that silence is deafening. Is this the end of the road for Third and Jauan in the Bay? The reality is setting in that Jauan Jennings might have played his final snap in red and gold. He thought he was coming to a vacation destination when he was drafted back in 2020, but instead, he landed in the grind of Santa Clara and became the absolute soul of this football team. But listen to the noise coming out of the locker room cleanout yesterday. The way Jauan was speaking. It sounded like a goodbye. It sounded like a man who knows his value and knows he might have to leave to get it. And here is the kicker, Robert Saleh is gone. He's taking the head coaching job with the Tennessee Titans. This isn't just a coaching loss, this is a potential pipeline for our players to leave. The Titans are sitting on a mountain of cash, we are talking $100 million in salary cap space. They need a culture builder. They need a dog. Who fits that description better than Jauan Jennings? Saleh knows him. Saleh was there when Jauan was just a practice squad grinder in 2020. The connection is real. Can you blame a guy if he leaves? Seriously, ask yourself this, if a team offers you $20 million a year to come home, remember, Jauan is from the Nashville area, versus taking a discount to stay here, what do? The Titans can afford to overpay him the same way we intentionally overpaid Pierre Garçon years ago just to set a tone. If Jauan follows Saleh, it is going to hurt. He is the guy you love to have, but you absolutely hate to play against. If he's on the Titans, at least we won't see him often. But if he stays in the conference, that is a nightmare scenario. But let's look at who is staying. We have 14 guys locked in on reserve/future deals. These are the guys who were in the building to end the 2025 season and are now secured through the 2026 offseason. Let's run through them because these are the names competing for those final 53 spots come August. First up, Isaac Alarcón. The international pathway player from Mexico is back. He's been grinding on the offensive line, and the team clearly sees developmental upside there. We also brought back defensive tackle Evan Anderson. This is a guy who was on the practice squad all of 2025. He saw some action in 24 but got pushed out of the rotation by the new blood like CJ West and Alfred Collins. Anderson gives us a big body in the middle for camp. Then you have a name everyone knows, Eli Apple. The veteran cornerback is back on a reserve deal. Say what you want, but you need veteran depth in the secondary, and he knows the system. We also retained return specialist Junior Bergen, the 7th rounder out of Montana, and veteran defensive end William Bradley King. Depth, depth, depth. Derek Canteen is another intriguing one. He can play corner, he can play safety, and he looked sharp on the practice squad this year. Versatility is key in this defense. Andrew Farmer too is back as well, an edge rusher they snagged late in the 2025 season. We also have safety Derek Forrest. We just signed him to the practice squad a few days ago to help with emergency depth, and clearly, the front office liked him enough to keep him around for the spring. Linebacker Jalen Graham is returning, along with Adrian Fry out of Purdue. And for the local fans, shout out to the Central Valley, quarterback Adrian Martinez is back. The Clovis West and Hanford product stays home to compete for a QB3 or practice squad spot. Rounding out the list, we have center Drake Nugent from Stanford and offensive tackle Brandon Parker. Parker is a veteran, formerly with the Raiders, and honestly, with our tackle depth issues, having a guy who has started games in this league is valuable insurance. Malik Turner, the special teams ace and wide receiver who wore number 81, is also back. He saw some snaps on offense in Week 18 against Seattle, so he's a trusted body. And finally, Sebastian Valdez, the defensive tackle known as the Hulk. This guy got called up 3 times this year. The team actually kept him inactive on game days but paid him the full 53-man salary just to keep him happy. That tells you they think he has a future here. So, that is the foundation of the off-season roster. But the roster is only half the battle. The coaching staff is getting raided, and we need to talk about who is going to run this defense. With Saleh officially heading to Tennessee, the big question is, does he take the staff with him? Does Gus Bradley follow him? Bradley was huge for us this year, especially in the red zone. Our defense had injuries everywhere, we finished 24th in EPA, but we were 15th in the red zone. That is the Gus Bradley effect. He kept the ship afloat when it should have sunk. But Saleh wants to call plays in Tennessee. He didn't call them when he was with the Jets, but he wants that control now. That might mean a guy like Gus Bradley, who is a former head coach and an established coordinator, might not want to go there just to be a figurehead. So, here is the question of the day, and I want you to sound off in the comments section below because this is going to define our season. Who do you want as the next defensive coordinator of this team? Do you want to promote from within, or do we need a fresh outside perspective? If we look inside the building, Daniel Bullocks is a name to watch. He's been the defensive backs coach, he's been here since the start of the Shanahan era in 2017, and he's practically the pass game coordinator already. He's been grooming for this. Then there is the dark horse, KJ Wright. I know, it sounds crazy because he's new to coaching, but remember DeMeco Ryans. He skyrocketed from assistant to coordinator to head coach in record time. The players love KJ. But if we look outside, there is a very interesting scenario brewing. Raheem Morris just got let go by the Falcons. He is best friends with Kyle Shanahan. He's been a head coach twice. He could be our version of Steve Spagnuolo, a veteran guy who just wants to coordinate a great defense and isn't constantly looking for the next head coaching gig. That continuity would be a dream. And don't sleep on Jim Schwartz. He is currently with the Browns, but if he doesn't get that head coaching job and the new ownership in Cleveland cleans house, Schwartz runs that wide, 9 scheme we love. He fits the personnel. Plus, how funny would it be to have Jim Schwartz on the sidelines after the whole handshake gate with Harbaugh back in 2011? The irony would be incredible. Let's switch gears to the other side of the ball because we have a massive crisis at wide receiver. It is not just about Jauan Jennings potentially leaving. The Brandon Ayuk situation has turned into a complete disaster. It has been a heartbreaking saga. We saw what happened when he essentially went AWOL. He left the building. He hasn't been seen. The team holds his rights, but the relationship seems completely fractured. We missed him down the stretch. We saw it in the playoffs, we couldn't create separation. We were ranked dead last in separation at the catch point. That is unacceptable for this offense. Ricky Pearsall, bless his heart, has been a warrior. The kid got shot, came back, and played as a rookie. But he's dealing with that PCL injury now, and his availability has been inconsistent. We need him to be the number 2 receiver, but can we count on him to be the number 1 if Ayuk is gone and Jennings leaves? Absolutely not. We have to face facts, we need to draft a receiver high, and we probably need to sign a mid-tier veteran in free agency. We cannot send Brock Purdy out there next year with a bare cupboard. We saw in the playoffs against Seattle, when George Kittle went down with that Achilles injury, the offense stalled. Purdy can make magic happen, he proved that in Philadelphia, but even a magician needs props. You cannot expect him to beat elite defenses with practice squad receivers. As for Ayuk, the team has leverage. He's on the reserve/left squad list. They don't have to pay him. They don't have to cut him. They can sit on his rights and force his hand. If they cut him, they accelerate the cap hit. If they keep him in this limbo, they avoid the dead money for now. It is an ugly game of chicken, and right now, nobody is winning. Looking back at this season, it is hard not to get emotional. This was year 9 for a lot of us covering this team, and year 9 for the core of this roster. Next year, George Kittle and Kyle Juszczyk will be entering their 10th season. They are going to get their names on the wall. That is legendary stuff. We just witnessed a 13-win team that was decimated by injuries. We have never seen a team with this many wins lose this much star power to injury. It was historic. We lost multiple future Hall of Famers for significant stretches. We lost our QB1 for a time. And yet, the resilience was off the charts. Beating the defending world champions. Winning 12 games in the regular season. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens because the culture is strong. But the season ended in heartbreak in Seattle. It feels like the end of a specific chapter. The 2025 season is in the books, and it was a hell of a journey, overcoming adversity, watching guys step up, watching that next man up mentality actually work until it physically couldn't anymore. Now, we turn the page. The coaching staff is changing. The roster is churning. We have 14 new contracts signed, but about 20 huge questions left to answer. Will Jauan stay? Who runs the defense? Can we fix the receiver room? The off-season is here, and we are going to be with you every single step of the way. We're not going anywhere. We're staying right here to break it all down. Thank you guys so much for riding with us through this crazy season. Let's get ready for the draft, let's get ready for free agency, and let's see how they rebuild this empire. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. See you next time.